Welcome back to Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots Wrestling Entertainment's champions. Charlotte lashes out. Corny was being corny, and 100% beef for everybody. All this and more in the house where it
All
happens.
this
But
and
first,
more in
I
the
see who's
house where it
making their way
happens.
to
But
the
first,
ring. I see who's making their way to
it's
the
mischief, you
ring.
heard. Oh, it's mischief, you heard. Let's get it.
Let's
baby.
warm it up.
It's cold out.
Aye.
Let's warm it
It's
up.
JP Savage.
It's
New
JP
year,
Savage.
same
New
JP.
year, same JP.
The All Father. The
Old
All Father.
school Joe.
Old school
Woo!
Joe.
And ladies and gentlemen,
and
in
ladies
case you
and
haven't
gentlemen,
noticed
in
yet,
case you haven't
CBS
noticed
Sports
yet,
Radio's main
CBS Sports
event on
Radio's
Monday nights,
main
ladies and
event
gentlemen,
on Monday nights,
1300
ladies and
a.m.
gentlemen,
Mondays, on
1300
6 o'clock to
a.m.
7.
Mondays,
Our
on
boy
6
KUTA
o'clock to
Jr.
Woo! Seen it 2 times. I like it. I like it.
I figured I'd rep one of the best female wrestlers on the planet.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Good Lord.
We with it. We with it. I'm ready to talk all this
Yeah,
wrestling
echoes.
talk, ladies and gentlemen. It's a nice week to get into business and run these ropes. Gentlemen, I hope everything is well, by the way, and let's just get right into it, man. Who got some hot topics for me tonight? What's up? What's running the ropes?
Well, we heard about the Royal Rumble. All right.
What about it?
That is gonna be fanless.
I mean,
Good.
Also,
Alright.
if it's hot, then they're fucked.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta stay that way. You gotta stay without them fans sometimes. I mean, come on,
Listen,
dirty out here.
listen. The E might be more concerned with whether they have enough wrestlers for the Rumble, because you're talking about women's and a men's Rumble, and everybody catching COVID right now.
True that. What concerns me though is we're so late into the month and we still don't know a lot of shit. Like you got valid point. Who is it gonna be? 30 people? If there's not gonna be fans, do they bother doing surprises? I think Old School brought that up earlier. What are we doing here? Kudo, how
It's
you
going to
feel
be
about
the
Royal Rumble?
smallest Rumble in history.
Yep.
She said.
You know how they had the. You know how they had
It
the.
very well could be fewer superstars. It very well could be regular 30, but they're going to have to take some pretty wild precautions to make sure nobody tests positive. You know, that the last thing you want to happen is 8 people test positive on January 30th, and now you got to book a Rumble.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And I think that's the reason they haven't solidified anything right now, because of the recent COVID positives. Like right now, just kind of leave it loose just in case, because you don't know. But you know what they're gonna end up doing? You know what they're gonna end up doing? They're just gonna bring back Mick Foley, and he's gonna do 3-time. You know what I mean? Just like Ethan Page is fighting Karate Man. You know what I mean?
Gonna
It's the
recycle
same
costumes.
thing. Yeah.
Yo, but the fact of the matter is the fans are not coming back not because of COVID, because of the Thunderdome, right? Which is like it goes to show you how like Vince just does not give a fuck about anything. Right? He's like, it has nothing to do with COVID. It's just like, yo, it's mad work. We gotta take down all these TVs, man.
So why not pesa, loco?
Nah, that's mad heavy. I ain't doing that work. We're just gonna leave it.
So they don't want this money. That's what that means. Okay.
Yo, no.
Okay.
They're already making bank this year anyway.
They don't need that money. That's the thing.
Shout out to the earnings coming out.
It is cheaper for them to leave all that equipment up than to pay people to take it down and to have some fans in that bit.
Wow.
Either way, to your question previously, will there be surprises? Duh. Motherfuckers got to pay $9.99 for that channel anyway.
Ooh.
You got to have something. How are you going to have a Rumble? Kuda, how are you going to have a Rumble with no surprises, man?
No, I agree. I think they'll throw some curveballs at us, and it's just the nature of the beast at this point. But I mean, I'm in 2 schools of thought about no fans at all, because that's why they're in Florida. That and an anonymous donation to a certain CPAC. But anyway,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly.
No.
But it's right now. Everything is open in Florida, pretty much 100%. So if they wanted to, they could have 50,000 people there. They're just not, because they want to win a couple more TV awards for the Thunderdome. I don't blame them, but yeah, they'll be surprised.
That's smart. Yo, if they're smart, they'll keep it up until Mania.
At least.
And it'll be a disaster, because nobody's been able to go to an event for a year, and then WrestleMania is the one event everybody can go to. You know how crazy that's just gonna be?
Damn, we're gonna go with 2 manias without crowds, yo. That's crazy.
Quite frankly, that should be the aim, right? Like, forget it. Like, forget, well, what is it? Fastlane and forget, like, no, just go straight.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Like, forget Elimination Chamber. Let's go straight into
Money in the Bank. No, that.
wide open. No, they did Money in the Bank already. Right? Like, don't we still got? So
yeah, they did.
So yeah, so like it would be Mania. It would be crazy. Could it be Mania?
I would prefer Mania if I had to pick one of the two.
What is April? Like, you think we'll be ready by April? Like, you think that's real life? April?
That's more realistic. If I don't know,
I can see that being
more
realistic
than
with the vaccine out now and stuff. You know,
that's still tough.
To Kuta's point, right? Like, it's if in Florida people are doing things now, I mean, by April we got to be able to see something.
Yeah, right? I think in Florida at least, or in the certain states that are allowing it.
Wow. Yo, so the chat thinks there's gonna be a pipe pop surprise at the Royal Rumble. Is CM Punk actually gonna come out? Does it happen?
I mean, I know Vince has a lot of spare money laying around, but he don't got that much. I mean, Punk tweeted it. He said a very big bag. That's what he said. Cool. And this is a personal vendetta for Punk just as much as a business opportunity. It's going to take a big check to get him to come back.
Facts. The noise that would make. Consider this. I'm about to say something pretty wild. Okay. Consider this. Okay. Undertaker was getting paid a lot more for less. All right. He was getting paid a lot more for less. He gave you a half a match, a really long entrance, right? Maybe a show or two off pay-per-view, right? CM Punk is on what's it called, backstage or whatever. He's on and off on that show.
FS1, baby.
He's on and off Twitter, right? Always kind of like in the mix. He's hot. Like, he's hot. Yo, he's a name. He's a name. And right now, when you consider where Undertaker is, he's a legend. You know, he's immortal. He is the man. I love Undertaker. As far I'm the gimmick guy here. I love gimmicks. And as far as gimmicks, yo, he's got the greatest ever. But as far as like electricity in the streets right now, CM Punk is bigger in that regard. So
especially since it's been like 5 years since he got fucked up in MMA, but yeah.
No, I think everybody's trying to forget that.
I know. That's why it's good time.
Remember this.
At the end of the day, there's money to be made. Right now, CM Punk comes out as a surprise entrance. It will be the mark out of the decade at this point. You remember how people got crazy over Edge coming out?
Bro,
but what's he gonna do? It's not like it's gonna sell more tickets, right?
Nah, but damn, if there was a crowd.
That's the thing. There's no crowd. Damn.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. It does, because when you have those moments in wrestling, you can feel that shit through the TV, bro.
Dude, I don't know, nuts. Man. CM Punk coming back at a fucking Thunderdome arena it doesn't hit the same way as if it would have been him last year's Rumble. Last year's Rumble was special, man.
People
when Edge came back, oh man.
People cried at that. We had a live pre-show. The last live pre-show.
The place went bananas.
Shout out to Blue 42.
Live pre-show.
It was crazy out there, man. Animals.
And think about this. Real life hasn't really happened all over the place yet. You know where it's happened? It's happened on Twitter and Instagram for the last couple months. CM Punk coming out would light that same buzz. Like, that feeds into his energy right now is on Twitter. It is on social media. So it'll be electric regard. I mean, yeah, would it be nice to hear a chanting crowd? Yo, didn't you hear how they cheered for Triple H? They can make it happen.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty loud in there Monday night. I'll tell you that much.
But see, now the question is, if they indeed get CM Punk to come,
that's what she said.
Is it a 2 for the price of 1? Do we get AJ Lee in the women's role?
Oh, stop it. I can't.
Our chat is lit. It's a great idea.
Yo, hey guys, where's she from again?
On Tuesday 3 times at 6.
Yo, shout outs to AJ Lee, man, coming out of the hood.
City, baby.
Woo! Shout outs to the crib. Gentlemen, I think
that's it. That's it. Hold on. You don't think they'll bring back Cena?
That I think they would do. I don't see why not. right?
So
and I got a name for you. All right. We would talk about electricity, right? And that's important right now because the social media is the game right now. Like you gotta pop social media. Those are the numbers. Right? We're not breaking attendance records anymore. Nope. We're breaking social media engagement records.
Yep.
And there's
he's breaking the internet. That's breaking the internet.
Breaking the internet. And there's one person that I think would do that. And let's take a look real quick at what's happening, right? We got Goldberg out here, right? We brought back, we dusted off some.
Yeah, they did that.
Here is
the collective head drops. I just see everyone else just go, oh. Just everyone just gave up when you said Goldberg.
And see, Kuta, that's the thing. They brought back Goldberg for a title. Man.
It gets better every time you say it. It's just so reassuring each and every time.
They brought back Bill Goldberg for a title match. All right, so look, they brought back Bill Goldberg for a title match. Son, there's one guy that would do that and more in real life. Exactly what they wanted Bill Goldberg to do, but 1,000 times better, and that's The Rock. If The Rock were to come back, this would be the Rumble to do it at.
Yeah,
to face Roman Reigns in what would be the WrestleMania of all WrestleMania. Could you imagine The Rock being the 30th entrant at the Royal Rumble and winning the damn thing, being the #1 contender for the main event at WrestleMania? What would that do?
It's money. It's gold. It's fucking gold. They would never do it. That's why.
It will cause a malfunction.
In an empty arena again.
Yeah,
that's
but
the
listen,
difference.
We that's the direction we're trying to go in too. We kind of called that too. We're saying maybe Reigns and Rock, right? If it's not Reigns and Jay at Mania, but I want to see Reigns do something evil, something even more deadly, or I don't know, something more evil than he's been doing.
Folks,
this is where you do it.
Folks,
to bring back The Rock.
Folks, please do yourself the favor and go back to like episode 115. Where I already told y'all that's what's gonna happen at Rumble. And I told you that Roman Reigns was gonna do some other shit to some family member, and The Rock's gonna come out. I'm the tribal chief. You know what I mean? And then you got that, that journey to WrestleMania. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I'm okay with it. As long as it comes with Eva Marie.
Yes.
If Eva Marie makes a surprise entrance, yes, please. Yes,
are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, where's the positive in Eva Marie kind of?
Kudos.
Okay.
Eva Marie.
There's positive. I see all positive. All positive.
I mean, she'll make the 13 through 20 demographic go nuts, but that's about it.
I mean, teenage 45 at least. Fine. But I want her to break the record of elimination, the fastest elimination possible.
You're not gonna be sent.
Her coming in, all cute, sexy, and then get out of here.
Yo, you know how dangerous even suggesting something like that would be? You know what you did? Like, if Eva Marie gets involved in that match in any fucking shape, way, or form, it's gonna be for like a substantial moment, not for like the quickest elimination of all time. You know how wet they are for her?
Yeah, they kind of tossing it around like she's gonna get a push.
That runs the company, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You're not gonna get this. This is what you want. This is what you get over.
I'm talking about all the basement couches in America are gonna be wet from teenage voyages watching Eva Marie come out. Are you kidding me? Nah, man.
Shout out to Moistus.
Kuta, who you got? Yo, who's coming out for this Rumble? Who's gonna make that wet dream spot?
I don't know. I believe in bold predictions, so I do not think that New Japan's website is pulling kayfabe. I think Jay White shows up. That's just me. Now, again, I'm different with empty arenas. I am at the point where it does not bother me. It's
at
where
this
we're
point,
at.
Right. I'm over it.
But because there's only one big star that will not show up unless there is a live audience, and that's if Brock Lesnar ever wants to come back. Other than him, pretty much everyone will be willing. And just imagining Jay standing up there, just sort of taking it in, and whoever's in the ring just being like, uh-oh, not again. Now, the best way you book that is to have AJ Styles in the ring at the same time, and you have that Japan moment. know, but now it's not going to get over with guys like us who watch and listen to everything. It's, you know, especially people who don't know. That's what I think of. Imagine people who just gave this a shot. And then you see this guy, and if you're on Twitter, everybody goes nuts, and you wonder, well, he must be something.
Yeah.
So will that moment surpass AJ's?
Well, that's what I mean. That's who you have him toss out. Is because that's a very Vince thing to do. That's a very Vince thing to do. Hey, let's have the first big New Japan name get thrown out by the new one. That's a very Vince thing to do. Or maybe Nakamura, something like that. It's a very Vince thing to do. And he's not going to win it, but he'll throw out 3 or 4 guys, and he'll have a couple stare downs, maybe with Orton or something like that. And then, you know.
I love it. I fucking love it.
I don't think
Kuta.
Vince is smart enough to book it that way, like a Nakamura. I think, because I think that's smart. Like, that's a smart booking decision, right? Like, if Jay doesn't win, right, you get booted by an NJP double alum, right? Like, you have a little thing, right, where they're kind of getting a feel for each other in another company. That's a beautiful storyline. And then maybe an AJ down the line, right? And then, you know what I mean? Like, there's familiarity there. That's beautiful storytelling. That doesn't happen here. Not real life.
Here. Do you want me to Vincify it? If you want me to Vincify it, then guess who stares him down? Dolph Ziggler. That's the problem.
Man.
And then Ricochet eliminates both of them. You're like,
yes. With Mustafa Ali just clapping in the background.
My goodness.
Lesnar.
We do have plenty of time to work up all the storylines and perfect them before the Rumble. I think that's what, 2 weeks away?
Oh yeah, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Things are heating up though in the midst of all this Rumble talk. Charlotte was lashing out this week on Twitter when she was heated for receiving heat. Talk to me, Kuta.
Well, yeah, she's. I mean, good for her for kind of stepping up, because it's very interesting to see how all the phrasing goes nowadays. Because I don't know. I mean, you guys know, because whenever I want to come on, it's clear that I have gotten in touch with one of you. Because if you watch my Twitter activity, you're not watching anything. I abhor social media. I cannot stand it in any way, shape, or form. I'm even on old school AM radio. That's how
literally on you have it pinned. I don't take it personally. I unfollow everybody.
Yes, I unfollowed everybody.
Literally on your Twitter.
So I understand she came back. People, and you know, is she over pushed? No, she's one of the best. There is not a gender attached to that either. Period.
Right. Facts on facts on facts.
And that's it. That's all you need to say. So she defended herself. Good for her. If people want to come at her, feel free. It's not going to work. I
loved it. I love that moment on Twitter. I think I think we need more of that. If nothing else, right? Like, yo, that's where Vince gets his money's worth, right?
Facts.
Like having his superstars continue bullshit, electricity, right? I keep using that word, right? Because that's what we got right now. Like, we have no buzz. We have no buzz in physical life. Like, we got to do the electric fucking social media gig, right? And that, like, those kinds of interactions, like, are really valuable, I think, to him. And Charlotte was absolutely right, to Kuta's point, right? Charlotte is absolutely right. She is the best in that company right now, dog. Like, yo,
Fact.
Sasha Banks is great. Sasha Banks is great. Becky Lynch obviously has always been great, right? She's out right now. Bayley is awesome, no doubt. Yo, but Charlotte Flair, yes, she gets booked ad nauseum, right? Like, sometimes you're just like, yo, give it a rest. But then at the same time, yo, she hit the bars at the end. She said, that's what being the best in the company gets you.
Yeah.
Not only that, but yo, she's consistently delivering. Like, tell me a bad match that Charlotte has been part of. Like, do you understand the feud that she has right now? What this feud could do for Lacey Evans? Because it's Charlotte Flair. We need to get away from this. Oh, it's because she's a Flair. Nah. Yeah, it opened up the door for her, but she kicked that shit down. Like, it's a wrap. She is definitely the best. I can see her one day being the first WWE women heavyweight champion. I can see that happening. She first woman to do it.
2 matches it took, and she's already relevant.
And 2 woos from Ric Flair, baby.
All right, so look,
shame
it
on
took me this whole time.
The novice Who?
It
My bad. Go
took me
ahead.
this whole time, right? I'm in the title picture, and I will always be in the title picture. It's one of those unfortunate side effects of excelling at something you wouldn't understand. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's exactly what you say when you gotta say it in this medium. That's why she's where she's at.
Yo, why you mad at Charlotte? Because she's a shark, bro. Like, why you mad? Sometimes you just gotta be a shark, bro.
You saw that come to life on SmackDown in a segment. You saw AJ Styles tell Drew Gulak, "I'm a 2-time champion," so they just let me in. You saw it come to life. That's all Charlotte's saying. If you're on that level, you're always in the mix. And plus, have you seen the Raw Women's Division? It needs people.
I don't think he's seen much of it. Not at all. Because to be honest,
it's a matter of doing some call-ups then.
To shed more light on this, this is the same article where he goes on and chimes in that Cena and Reigns still get all the opportunities. I don't remember seeing Cena for a while now. So
come on, yo, hold on.
I don't think he's seen much of this.
Let's stop talking about Cena, all right? Because long time ago, far, far away. Like, that's it. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's alumni status. He could walk in and do that. Like, that's that guy.
This is also on an article in a website that's also just mostly other sports.
That was wrong.
Those other scripted sports, right? Those NBA guys.
Oh,
but
NBA guys.
You want to talk about storyline?
Oh, poor Kyrie. So I think
Listen,
I think
if
Charlotte's
they
not
know
the only one
best,
with beefs. Go ahead, JP.
Unfortunately, Retribution is definitely going to be in the Royal Rumble. They're definitely going to be there. It's unfortunate, but they're definitely going to be there. Now, what are they going to do? Almost going to take all of them out.
That's the real question.
Almost going to sacrifice himself and just land on all of them outside the ring. Telling you. Let's land at the NBA. Yeah, June. Tell him.
June's getting worked.
Yo,
June's getting worked by the NBA.
NBA's fake. Yo, Harden wasn't really traded, bro. Harden wasn't traded.
Y'all seen the picture of instead of putting Harden with the big three in the Nets, right? They put
big
shout out to this dude went on. What did he put it on Pro Wrestling Tees? Because he's not on Shop Zone, right?
Yeah.
He can't be on Shop Zone. Yo, my man got the Mark Henry Brooklyn Nets shirt.
Yo, what's everybody?
Number 99 in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I got some Retribution.
I got some left.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Redemption. Jesus.
What you guys
Redemption
got?
bourbon.
Kuta, what you drinking right now?
I'm not drinking anything with alcohol in it. I'm sorry.
There you go.
So what? What are you drinking?
That's all right.
Kool-Aid.
I brought a gallon of water with me. That's
there
what
you go.
The only reasonable one amongst us.
Nice.
You're the one that has some sense.
Well, if that's me, y'all are screwed. That's not used to that role.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Shots up.
I want. Oh, shots up. Get it.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing. My bad. My fault.
Water, baby. You gotta have that.
We usually get those shits out the way in the beginning, but then I think I fucked up somewhere. But but we speaking about beefs, we gonna get into it even more heavy in a minute. But
you know who I don't got beef with? You know who I don't got beef with?
Who we don't got beef with?
Yo, with the Campbell, yo, shout out to the Campbells. They got me this jacket right here. One of a kind, baby.
JP,
Rey Mysterio.
Yo, flex on it. Let me see that.
Yo, go ahead, yo.
Beautiful, man.
It's velvet.
It's sexy.
No way.
You know what I'm saying?
Bomber jacket.
Yo, the inside got all his highlights. You know what I mean? And not only that, God.
JP with the mask. No, show him what the flex is at.
You want me to flex on him like that?
Yo, flex it.
Yo, Charlie, should I flex on him? All right, Charlie, I'll flex on him. Okay, yo. Right there, baby. Rey Mysterio himself. And I think Aaliyah signed it on the other side, but I don't know. But you know, this is awesome, guys. Roots of Fight. One of a kind. This is the only one made. Oh, no. Wait. I'm lying. There's two. Ray got the other one. You got to ask him for that shit. Oh, yeah.
So
that shit is JP.
That's fly, yo. That's fly as hell. And you know what? I bet you that you get some heat trying to get robbed for that thing, right? Someone bring up some heat trying to take that from you. Let's talk about
Listen,
that.
all I
we
know
don't
is
steal here. We don't steal here.
listen, all I know is I picked up my PS5 at Best Buy, and they told me here's a great bag because you might get jumped outside. And I said I wish somebody would. I wish they would. Shit. As long as I've been waiting for that shit. Damn it.
T-Bar and Sammy are very upset about kleptomaniacisms because apparently their finishes have been stolen.
Oh.
What was that word again?
Kleptomaniacisms.
Everyone's finisher has been stolen. Everyone. Don't
lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Everyone.
Yo, everybody. Yo, that's crazy. Talk to me, Kuta.
It's just you took it from this guy, and then and then he used it, and then apparently we're 8 years old, dude. You are two grown men working for the two top wrestling companies potentially in the world on what is effectively network TV. Stop. Just do your move and cash a check. I don't know what. So you might have run into each other. You might not like each other. Okay. Are you ever going to be booked against each other? No.
I hope so.
So,
T-Bar
Sammy before a match. Yeah.
Yo, first world problems, right, Kuta? First world problems right there.
That is the perfect phrase.
Listen, I hate to give the man credit, man, but Cornette, if you ever watch Dark Side of the Ring, he says it. Everything in wrestling is reused. Everything. If you enjoyed this angle, go to a 1986 showing in NWA, and they had the angle going in the mid card. Like, it's just cyclical, man. Just keep it moving.
Recycle. Everybody chooses the moveset. Your finish is one of the first things a wrestler chooses for centuries now. And if you have a problem with the moves being recycled and used by other wrestlers, you're the problem. You're probably the guy that Charlotte was screaming at this week.
Well, it's funny because they bring up Kenta as the originator of the move, and then one of our fans had pointed out to us on Twitter that there was a spot in World of Sport back in like '77 where Marty Jones hits it on Rollerball Rocka.
Bro, that looked like an accident though. Speaking of an accident, y'all peeped that Jericho and X6 Canadian Destroyer by accident that happened in the middle of the ring back in the 90s? That shit was trending this week. Yeah.
Oh,
yo, terrible.
I thought you were talking about the botching of trying to say Sofrito on fucking national TV.
Oh my God, no.
Yo, how about the fans booing Arroz con Gandules, you bunch of racist bastards? That's the
what's up with that, man?
It's food.
They had me hungry and shit, and they're gonna boo me.
Made with some coconut milk.
Yo, but back to the moves, right? Like everybody, that move, son, the GTS, y'all did that shit on your mom. They're trying to get out of here, bro. Every move comes from somewhere, man. Why is that even a thing? But T-Bar is lame as hell for invoking the rape joke clause.
Oh,
that shit stop being funny, right? So like they're going back and forth on Twitter, which to me is just like, all right, two wrestlers like, all right, douching it out, cool, whatever.
Business.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's a bit of a friendly bullshit, right?
They could be doing it to get over, make some noise.
And then T-Bar had to take it there. T-Bar is like, oh, like go back to cracking rape jokes and shit, like.
Oh,
I didn't catch that.
So that means was it personal?
That means T-Bar got work, bitch.
I was just about to say I was enjoying the jabs, it was entertaining, but now he getting work. That's crazy.
Well,
man,
there's a general rule of thumb, and I think especially Mischief is going to know where I'm coming from. If it's a war of words on Twitter, I vote for the little guy because the big guy has never had to talk shit. He can just stand there. He's never had to do it. He's just, look, I'm 6'8". Deal with me. Sammy's like, no, I have things to say. Because I've always had to defend myself verbally because I'm this tall. It's not, I don't. That's always how it goes. And Sammy can talk. He's very good at what he does in that aspect.
Just not Spanish. Not Spanish.
Apparently.
Yeah, so Jade and Red Velvet on Dynamite this week.
Facts. So
wow.
JJ,
hold on to your zippers. Good Lord,
yo, you see, like, why you always got make it about your zippers, yo? Where your pants at, man?
Now, JP was on point though. He brought up Cornette earlier, and Cornette is definitely on this beef is with Broccoli's. So he comes out. He first of all, he's talking reckless about Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano. I think at least on Candice LeRae. And hear me out here, just real quick. Remember this. This is a wrestling world where primetime. You'll never see a girl catching a super kick from somebody that's wearing thumbtacks on their shoes. But he's not gonna like that either. Not to say Cornette would like that either. So I'd take Corny with a same grain of salt. Something of maybe under a sweat of salty balls or something. I don't know, but I wouldn't take it too literal what Cornette's going after Candice LeRae for, bro. She's very talented. The character.
What did he say about her?
I don't remember the quote. I can't. But
it was something about like being like bland, like her, like Gargano's bland, and Candice LeRae is just some other girl on the roster. Like they're just kind of like vanilla midgets, blah blah blah, right? Because there's always a quote for something. Like, but do we agree ultimately? Because I said that shit a couple times. You know, I feel like Gargano is kind of blah. Yo, like
I feel like Cornette needs to like stop with the like references to food and flavors. Like, just leave it alone. That you put your foot in your mouth with that too many times.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Kuta, how have you enjoyed Gargano's heel run as of late?
I've enjoyed it a lot because I can't stand him. I can't stand him. He's doing a very good job of that, and I can't stand Candice LeRae. She's doing a very good job of it, and I think this is a great open door for Indy Hartwell. But now is where people like to come at me. I don't see what it is about Austin Theory. I don't get it. When he won Future or whatever, no, wrong. That was the wrong person to win that award. I don't see it. He's a white guy in tights. That's it. That's all he is. And he's deciding to act like half an idiot.
I haven't seen anything from him, really, on the E.
I don't get it.
Maybe the Indies, he was probably something, you know.
And Evolved, he was dope. And Evolved, he was dope. If you look back.
He's got a lot of potential, right? But that means absolutely nothing.
Right.
Like, that and $1.50 gets you some coffee.
Yep.
Candice LeRae's legit, JJ. I'm serious. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't see any other woman in that roster take that super kick from the bus.
But Cornette does give credit for like their wrestling ability. He's like, they're good wrestlers. It's just like their brand.
And it's about their personality.
And it goes back to like what we've always complained about is that we do have just like a bunch of guys and girls wrestling sometimes. And like that's okay for a good percentage of the roster, but like I mean, like we need some characters in there to spice things up. We need somebody like to feel a little bit differentiate. Not everybody could be just another competitor. You know what I mean? Like someone's got to be a boogeyman. You know what I mean? Like I know that's a corny, like Shotzi, right? Like Shotzi is a great example. She's a personality. Now, very few like her, but that's an example, right? Like Raquel got a bit of personality, even though like she's kind of
even Diener got a fucking personality too. And you saw what Diener's doing out there. He turned heel on him, and he's running things with Eric Young right now. So that household looking like they know what they're doing.
So you out here making impacts and shit?
Ooh, impacts everywhere. But stay tuned because we got a little impact for you later this weekend too, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa! What you talking about?
Keep that one under the wraps. You already know, gentlemen. It's time to get into what's bumping this week. And I'll tell you what's not bumping. You fans, man, some of you fans are killing it right now. Like what's going on? Yeah, brought my man's back to the show because Kuta's not having it, man. Kuta is not feeling your expectations, man. Kuta, talk to him a minute, man. How you feeling?
The bar for fans is here, and the highest that any promotion can reach is here. There is something wrong with that. At a certain point, you have to realize it is not going to always go your way. Yeah. I mean, I have my issues with, say, AEW, because sometimes it does seem like a million guys in tights. and it can kind of get a little monotonous. So, like Mischief mentioned, you need a gimmicky type character sometimes. Like when what's her name? I think showed up in the women's division, who does the tongue deal. When she showed up,
whoa!
What are you talking about?
AEW?
Abaddon?
When Abaddon showed up, I said, finally, it's not just a woman in wrestling gear. There is somebody who has something to them. Like, for example,
but then
on NXT,
she went away.
Yeah, that's true. But on NXT, this Xia Li deal that they're doing with this being in a throne, that's dollar signs to me. It looks fantastic because they sold it. They went 100% in. And the thing is, if it goes how fans want it to now, then they come back and say, but it didn't go the way, like the process.
No, it was predictable. It was predictable.
So no, I understand the want of a lack of it being predictable. I get that, but since it's also a very educated fan base now, it's a very recycled fan base. The same people watch AEW.
Too educated.
So yes, the army has gotten too smart for the general. They know what's happening, and I think it's a little bit too much. So because there's just different AEW gives you everything up front. They tell you the whole match card. This is and the appeal is we might go off the rails. That's the appeal. It might go wild. While WWE gives you half a match card and half a mystery, and that's why Impact I think is working. You mentioned it. Impact is working because they've fully accepted we're the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to do whatever we want because we're the other one.
Shout out to Callis running crazy right now. He's doing things.
That's true. So yes,
I love it.
I'm politely asking people to lower their expectation. It's not going to be what
that's
you
a
want
lot.
it to be, but you can still have fun watching it. I mean, like you guys poke fun at a lot of things, just like I like to. But when you see these accounts that are just everything sucks, dude.
Oh yeah, man.
Find another hobby. Like it's not. I'm sorry, but
just because your mom says that about your dad doesn't mean you got to say it about wrestling. All right, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Yo, these are the same people. These are the same people that go to watch every Spider-Man that was remade in the last decade. He's complaining about recycled storylines. Come on now.
Yo, word, man. Like, fuck up. No one goes and is like, at Days of Our Lives. This bullshit. La la la
la la la la.
Yo, you know what show doesn't recycle? Grey's Anatomy going strong for 17 years.
Oh,
and
shout out to
they
Grey.
do. The storylines are recycled, man. Everybody dies. Look into it, man. You're all being worked.
Everybody.
Oh man.
Life's
shout out to Grey's Anatomy making it to the show.
So
we out here.
Hold on. So now that you said everything's a work, right? Life's a work. Life's a work. So drink to remembering, wrestling reminding us that life's a work. But
like that.
What's interesting about this Cornette conversation is that Ryback gets thrown in the mix because WWE.
I think we're gonna do it. Let's do it,
yo. Ryback, shut the fuck up. All right, so look, has no one said that yet? No one said shut the fuck up. All right, so look. So WWE account tweets like blank was the greatest blank champion, right? Some bullshit like that. And Ryback replies with like this really whack ass, corny ass, bubble bursting, wah crybaby ass response because he has a wet diaper and he's fucking tight as hell for no reason. All right. He had a great job in the E. Maybe he wasn't used where he thought he was going to be used, but guess what? You haven't done shit since. Okay, there, guy? All right, yeah, I'm some dude, and I'm the fat fuck on the couch, and you're a guy that did not
you're wearing a poncho
wrestling for as much shit as you talk about it, right? But when you look at that tweet, right, Black is Black, his reply was something along the lines of like, wrestling is a scripted program, and the belt is a gimmick, and nothing is a real blah, 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 blah.
The tone was verbatim.
What and why are you saying that? Because you've got all these sour grapes because you didn't have a championship because you were a bland piece of stick of butter? What was Ryback in the WWE? They fed him jobbers. And the Shield destroyed him. He was a stepping stone for the Shield. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Yep.
And he hooked his dick. So exactly.
It runs in line with this whole theory of all wrestlers should get paid the same because they don't choose who wins or loses or their place on the card.
I love that.
It's this participation trophy level of thinking that's coming from Ryback,
and
right?
then he'll collect the check. He's just like, he's another Kyrie fucking Irving. He loves his scripted sports. Holy fucking shit. My man, you want the check, you want the money, come to work, papa. Yo, you want to be paid like a wrestler? You wanted the big cash, you wanted the big paydays. Guess what? You weren't over. Big deal. You didn't like it?
He's just projecting, guys. He's projecting because he heard the comments about Gargano and Candice LeRae, and he felt it. That shit hurt. He's heard that shit before.
La mierda.
So he had all the chances. I'm just saying. He had all the chances.
Here's
all the fucking chances.
Shut up, bitch. Here's the tweet. All right. Wrestling's fake, and the championships are props to market entertainers as champions. Nobody has actually ever won or lost a prop, except Jericho, as scripted physical entertainment is incapable of that. This tweet explains so much, though, on your TV deal with them.
All right. First of all, the WWE on Fox guy was just doing his job, so you don't need to come after him. But no, imagine some intern at Fox. Like, what did I do? Apparently, someone is very upset at me. But you see, this is the pulling the curtain back response because someone kept asking you to. You're not supposed to do it. There is a certain type of deal. Plus, a lot of us are aware that this is predetermined. And that's okay. But just to call it a prop, I don't, all that was going through my head, especially when Mission was reading his tweet, was from the Jericho and Owens ride along when Owens said that Ryback was supposed to crush an apple and he couldn't because he didn't want to take his gloves off. And Owens was like, why don't you take your gloves off? And he goes, well, Ryback has gloves. And Kevin's like, all right, buddy. Like, how do you want to put your own stale gimmick? Oh, no, Ryback has gloves. No.
Ryback's bad.
You look like a man on TV, and you don't want to because you have to keep your gloves on. No.
It wasn't original. His gimmick wasn't original at all. Not even the attire. He stole that shit from RVD. Fucking, come on.
It's just another example of the passion was never there. I mean, he's not that type. Maybe he's just not, the real wrestler guy that we thought he was. And that's probably why he picked it up again.
But remember, injuries played a role too. He had a couple of neck surgeries, I believe. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think that probably plays a role why he has a podcast now. But that also means that he didn't have enough. Try something else to the business, maybe, right?
Ryback needs to go back selling protein. Do your business there. But what's interesting about Cornette is that Cornette, for all his errors and all his ways, right? He's a piece of shit. But he always protected the business in a kind of way, right? Like, it was always like, it's not real, but you know what I mean? Like, it was always like he was always in character, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, just as far as like wrestling is concerned, like it's scripted, but right in a way. So Jim Cornette responded, another disrespectful piece of shit. who would never have been allowed in the business before it all went to hell. Hey, fat guy, which is true. Right. Hey, fat guy, if you'd have said this in public 30 years ago, your fellow entertainers would have kicked the shit out of you, and rightfully so. Fuck you, signed Jim Cornette.
Yo, Jim Cornette has the balls the size of fucking
corny. We gotta love it. Gotta love it sometimes, even though we hate him.
Jesus.
Kuta, what do you think,
yo?
Did
I hear where Cornette's coming from. It's the way that you phrased it is it was basically guys like Cornette that refer to kayfabe but don't break it. It's very much that. Ryback is very willing to break it. And that's And I understand a lot of it has either faded away or in some cases just died. You know, you see heels and faces in public hanging out all the time. Everybody knows. But it's just, if there's a place to keep the facade, do it. Yeah. That's why social media has made it easier for wrestlers, because you don't have to do it in your private life anymore. If you stay in character on Twitter, you're fine. If people see you in public, it doesn't matter, as long as you're in character on Twitter. So, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't... Dude, Ryback just waits for these moments, and he attempts to pounce, and he misses horribly. That's what happens. So... I don't know.
Yo, he's shooting a shot. Yep. Polly and shit. Raindrop!
Shout out to Low K Polly.
Wait, but I want to know, JJ, how did Ryback block you? How did Ryback block you? What you do?
Yo, JJ talking shit about Ryback, rightfully so. She was just talking truths. She was like, Ryback's tights are tight. And he was like, block! Give me more block. Yo. So we were talking about beefs before, right? You know what's a beef that I thought
beef
was
with broccoli.
Kind of interesting? Beef and broccoli, right? Beef and broccoli, 100% beef. So Alicia Toot, shooting alarm, plug, right?
He's spoken to her.
Plug. Alicia Toot interview with HPC, Too Sweet. Check it out on all your favorite platforms. But the fact of the matter is, Alicia Toot's a sweetheart, and here she is as one of the main interviewers here on MLW, right? Making a name for herself, doing the thing. Great at her job. Really impressive. For real. So she's got a storyline, work situation, shoot situation with Selena. And they're going back and forth on Twitter. And I love it. Because Selena does not fuck around. Selena has shut her shit down mad times. Old school, you saw it?
Now, so Selena, I feel like, don't we got a shooting the issue with her as well?
Woo! Oh, yeah.
This is alums everywhere. This is alums everywhere. I think we do that one again. Can we do a next one? Yo, can we hit her?
Absolutely. But we might have to ask her bodyguard now. You know what I mean? Because she had a bodyguard now, aka boyfriend. But yo, they were going in on Twitter though.
I'm gonna read the last tweet by Selena De La Renta, right? Yeah. So they go back and forth, and Alicia too is like, I'm gonna be interviewing the spawn of Satan, blah 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 blah, right? So Selena De La Renta responds. If I'm the spawn of Satan, you are Jesus' nuts. But first, ask away. Yeah, girl, that's what I like. That's what I'm talking about. Get the heat, baby.
Yo.
Get that heat.
Yo, why you come after the Canadian
I had
like
to double look to see if I was like, what the fuck? She didn't type that. I'm like, oh shit, she fucking wrote that shit.
I told you she was wilding.
And then Alicia like trying to work it out. She's like, fuck you, bitch. Like, straight up. I'm like, wow.
Take my money. My money, please. Take my money.
Yo, and Selena just debuted Mi Muertes on MLW. That faction, Promociones Doradas, looking nice. Very nice.
I can't. Shout out to MLW, man. Back at it again, man. We appreciate it, man.
KUTA, you watch MLW? You on that?
I am not terribly familiar with MLW, I must admit.
Highly recommended, man.
Wednesday nights.
All right.
They're like the Moneyball of pro wrestling.
YouTube, baby.
All right.
Yo, for real.
Man.
For the fans, Brian Pillman Jr., you're seeing him at AEW now. Oh. He was at MLW. That was home for a bit for him.
Oh man,
MJF.
He had a faction with Heart Foundation faction in there. MJF came from MLW. Yup.
I know he cut his teeth in the Indies, but MJF did a run at MLW, man.
The first middleweight champion they had.
Right.
Yeah. They do big things out there in MLW and Queens, and I can't wait to get back out there, man. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, ladies and gentlemen.
But some beef. You talking about beef with broccoli, right?
Yeah.
Beef. Like I said before, Red Velvet.
Yeah.
That look like some beef.
Yeah, they were smacking away.
You saw that, yo? Like, Red Velvet is really short. I either did not realize exactly how tall Jade was, or I did not realize how short Red Velvet was.
I like how she be fucking Cody around and shit. Got my face, Cody.
If Jade can wrestle, because I don't know what her ring work looks like, but if she can wrestle, Boy, that girl got a
problem.
future. And honestly, if she can't, she'll be a tremendous manager a la Selena De La Renta.
Ooh, okay.
But she's also like also brolic, so she could be an enforcer. Like
she could be China.
Yeah.
You want to make it know
she looks good at what she's doing too. You know what I'm saying? But other beef, what other beef is happening right now?
Oh, you want to know beef? Mr. Hello, ladies.
Ooh.
Not talking to the ladies no more. Yo, my man was banned from Twitter for posting some crazy stuffs. Y'all already know what it was if y'all know. But yo, he's making some crazy headways, man. He's been at it for the whole last 2 weeks with this shit, man. He's really Val Venus is really going against the Democratic Party.
My bingo card did not have Val Venus just losing his shit in 2020. Like, that was not.
It wasn't even on the middle.
Didn't they chop his dick off? Like, why is
listen, after so many times greeting people and you get no response, you're gonna go crazy. Hello, ladies. Nobody ever said shit.
They did at first, but Vince made them.
Ooh, we brought it up earlier. Go ahead, talk, bring it up.
So speaking of Vince making you do things you don't want to do, as he has quite the reputation of doing, someone that's got to be somewhere is Lita, and rightfully so. You guys, any of you guys heard about what Lita said on her Twitch stream?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Talking reckless.
She was against the live sex scene that essentially happened between her and Edge, and she was pretty much told she didn't do it, she was gonna get fired.
Yo, she did not want to do that live sex scene. She told Vince she didn't want to do that live sex scene. Edge told Vince he didn't want to do it. A couple people told Vince. He was like, I like it, do it anyway. She said that on a Twitch stream, dog. Now, that's the same sex scene where her titty popped out on live TV. Right? Made me a man that day. I'm just saying, like, consider in all seriousness, right? Consider
most rewatched scenes in Sharon Stone and Basic.
She was put out there in that kind of rapey situation against her will with it. And then, like, that was one of the results, was like a booby popping out. And then she retired because of it. And on the way out, JTG and Primetime was selling her shit in a wholesale. So you get buried.
What?
Yeah. Do you?
That was the part that got me.
Do you remember the end of Lita's run? Like, she went out like a chump. Like, they made her look really bad.
Oh yeah,
and that was the month after Trish went out on top.
Right.
Yeah,
Trish went out like a queen.
That's crazy.
Buddha, what do you think,
man?
You see, that's interesting. I mean, you don't want anybody to do anything they don't want to do. And yes, Vince has that reputation. So he pulled the boss card and said, if you don't do it, I'll fire you. Now, I don't support that. But at the same time, the job is the job. Now, I'm not defending Vince. I'm not. You don't go that far. But it caused her to retire eventually. Other things followed it up. It's a very unfortunate situation, but I understand her bringing it up, and good for her. I mean, to speak out, you always speak out if you have the chance. So, but and it's unfortunate. And here's the other thing, at least for me personally, it's not a segment I'm going to go find. I'm not gonna rewatch it. It's not, it wasn't, because I feel like it was supposed to be 15 times what it was. And then everyone was so unhappy with it that what we saw was the severely watered down version. And then once it got to a certain point, he just had Cena go out and ruin it. He said, dude, just go now. It's too far. Everybody already hates me.
You gotta kind of remember though too. Those times is different times than now too.
Candice Michelle came out speaking about it too. You know, she said definitely it was awkward in that time, but it was the job, right? She had a bunch of romantic scenes with Vince, you know, touching the cleavage and whatnot. It was awkward, and it seemed like the locker room was like that back then. And yo, we know this. If you were a fan of the 90s, why were you a fan? Because you might see some titties on Monday Night Raw.
Yo, you talk about promoting puppies every other Monday.
There was a reason why they showed you the copyright again at the later time at 9 o'clock, because it was about to get extreme. They had the Generation X. Like, this is what it was.
And to be honest, the proof was in the ratings, because they wouldn't be doing the shit if it wasn't working.
Yo, hold on.
It's crazy.
How about the beef that JJ got with the heels, the AW heels right now?
I heard they got a lot of heat, yo.
I heard that shit was trash. That ass. Like, that they don't, the fucking, so number one, right? It was supposed to be like a community of women, like female wrestling fans and blah, 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 blah. With a lot of like the talent interaction to foster that kind of community. Right? Because, like, I mean, let's be real. Like, with a lot of these virgins, the way they act out there hanging out, right? They make women feel uncomfortable. So it's hard. I understand. It's hard to be a wrestling fan, like, especially when you get that kind of booking, right? You know, piggybacking on what we just talked about. Like, it's hard to be a female wrestling fan. So this, in essence, was a great idea, right? Kind of foster that. And apparently what has happened is that, like, none of the talent go on. They've kind of, like, abandoned it as a general concept.
Oh,
right?
Shit.
So it's kind of like crazy. No, because I've heard this from several people. Like, it's just like it hasn't been any, like, the way it was marketed was like this big deal that, like, they're gonna be on top of, and it's always gonna be like this kind of flowing, living, breathing community. And it's just been like, yo, let me get your money real quick. All right, man, thanks, peace.
It caught flack from, like, Jump Street though. Like when the platform came out, the fans were coming on, and then they were asking, like, storyline questions, and Brandy flipped. Like, she got hot about it because that wasn't her vision of what was supposed to go on within this community, and she didn't handle it very well for someone who's supposed to be, like, the VP of communication, right? Like, that's her shtick.
I'm glad you
Our
said
boy
that.
Fowl was talking about that to us too. Last time he was on too, he was mentioning that.
Cool.
That same exact thing.
What do you think, yo? Because I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I'm gonna use part of a comedian's stand-up bit to illustrate this. I'm going to come off somewhat misogynistic, but I'm going to say it.
Oh, everybody record this. All right,
every guy has what we call a douchebag test. Let me give you the example. A guy's wearing the goofiest shoes you've ever seen. And if you walk up and say, bro, what's with the shoes? If they go, these are my favorite shoes, douchebag. If they go, I'm going to wear these shoes as long as you wear that shirt, brother. Like, that's a douche. Like, that's why we can get along with any guy. I'm sorry, but if the concept was a bunch of women getting along just by coming together, you need another incentive. It's not. And that's all it took. Like Joe said, like Old School said, it just took one of them to be unhappy, and then they're all just like, well, this isn't working. Let's get out of here. And, well, if it's a bunch of guys, it's like, okay, that guy sucks. Kick him out, and we'll all figure this out. It's just a different attitude to me.
But part of the problem is at the top, don't you think, Kuta? Because, like, Brandy was the one, in my opinion, right? I mean, I wasn't there. All I know is what I kind of read online and what was told to me. And honestly, I could be wrong. But if you're going to foster a sense of community around wrestling, you have to expect that a certain percentage is going to be interested in storyline type conversations. There's got to be a part of the Reddit, right? There's got to be a part of the forum that lends itself to storyline exploration, and otherwise extemporaneous kind of chatter. You know what I mean? You can't just say, "Oh, we're just gonna talk like whatever."
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, especially in the era where there's so many subscription-based platforms that you get content, right? You get exclusive content. That's what everybody wants. If you're paying a monthly fee, they figured it came with it. But, you know, I think in the grand scheme of things, I think they have something there that they don't know what to do with it yet. And I think the fact that they have a platform is the most important part. The pieces will come together. There'll be some leaders within that community that'll make it work. There will be a movement because remember, on this show, we've talked many times about the shit that happens to women in professional wrestling. It is not right. And this may be a way to cultivate that, to bring awareness, to make sure that, like Mitch just said, that when you go to an event, you have people with you. You have a support system, and you don't feel weirded out because it can get wild.
It can.
But that's
definitely can.
That's got to get fostered from the top down. Like, you can't have a fucking the CEO communications or whatever.
Oh no, she needs to pass that shit over. She's going on maternity leave. She's fine. But
the point.
No, I didn't mean her. But like, that'll trickle down.
There's a culture there. Where
as long as it's not Yolanda Saldivar, you're good, yo.
Yo, it's borderline. Yo, Cody goes on and like he rants on Twitter about like certain people and like the way they perceive or they comment on the product and blah blah, and like he's not the only one. It just seems to like have kind of insecure kind of air to it. Like that's a big contrast that I see between AEW and WWE. Is that WWE is the kind of company that does not give a fuck. It is a steamrolling bullet train that will not stop for anything. All right.
To be fair, that's it now. To be fair, that's it now.
Right?
That's it now.
They just offered Donald Trump another Hall of Fame thing. That's how
they did
controversy they are. No,
they
man.
did?
No, man.
Oh,
are you fucking kidding me? Yo, that'd be fucking wild. But they're the kind of company that just dolphin flips into controversy. They don't give a shit. AEW needs to not be that. They need to be a little bit more careful in the way they navigate the waters. They don't have the depth of experience, the breadth of the wrestling business to really be able to like survive extensive weakness to criticism.
They also have a lot. They're doing a lot, man. AEW is doing a lot. They got their hands in many pots, and not all of it's gonna work right away. Not all of it will work at all. Who knows? Give it time. Maybe turbulence in every flight, right?
Listen. Supply meets demand. AEW started. They were a plane they were building on the way while it was already in flight. You know, they're still putting this shit together. Yeah. There's a lot with it, and on top of that, we in a pandemic, folks. Let's not forget. We still in a pandemic.
Oh,
shit is crazy. Shit is wild.
Shit is crazy is right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this crazy HPC of the week. KUTA, what'd you like in wrestling this week, man? The biggest heel, the loudest pop, or the hardest chair shot of this week, man?
Well, I'll give you the biggest heel of the week, and to me, well, first of all, it's me for being the most misogynistic prick in history ever. I being like,
asshole.
Don't go there. I saw JP like, where is he going with this?
Yeah. I was like,
this angle.
I was already like thinking of a way to save you and shit. I was
no, that's the right thing. You let me burn. I would do the same.
No, but you were fine.
So
you good money,
bro. I'm not going to give it to myself. I'm going to give it to the inner circle on AEW for just doing what they've done for so long. I don't even think there was much of a plan there, other than the word tag slut or whatever it was. Other than that, it really wasn't a plan. And it worked. It was funny. And now the inner circle has done another thing like this, and it's just so I'll give it to them. I think they handled it very well because you give Jericho control of a segment like that, and the possibilities are endless. But I just want him to take it down like 2 octaves when he's on commentary. Like
okay.
The mic is on. We can hear you, Chris.
You get carried away. He's like JP Savage. You get carried away.
I'm gonna piggyback that heel of the week with making that the pop of the week, if I may. because I do not think it was as random and unscripted as you're saying, Kuta, because there were a lot of callbacks, right? There was like an MJF wink to the camera, right? When if you notice, like the Inner Circle has started infighting ever since MJF kind of joined, right? So like we're seeing an evolution of the Inner Circle because of MJF, right? That's storyline, that's storytelling right there. That's purposeful, right? The Inner Circle never fought before. In fact, Jericho was always like the harbinger of peace when it came to the Inner Circle until MJF got there. And MJF was like the bringer of chaos. And now they're fighting. They've never fought against each other, and now they've been fighting against each other like on the regular, just to like whatever. Ever since MJF has brought that. And MJF had a little wink to the camera when like everything was being said and done. When let's see right here. Look, see, I wrote everything down and now I forgot all of it. When MJF fucking jumped in front of the camera, right? MJF was like, "Yo, chill," right? Like, I got this. I'm gonna close this out, right? That whole Arroz con Gandules line, that was not on the spot. That whole Sammy Hager line, right? With Sammy Guevara and shit, right? Like that was funny. Improv. It was. I don't think it was improv. I think all of that came from like a premeditated place, which made this the pop of the week for me, because AEW has a habit of kind of calling back certain things. And another pop of the week for me was that Darby match, right? So Darby ends the match with a crucifix, right? If I'm not mistaken. Am I correct? I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Continue.
Darby Allin lost a Cody Rhodes match to a crucifix, in which Taz immediately after the match wanted to present him with an opportunity to join his team assassin, if you will. All right. Darby Allin kind of disrespected him because he walked away. He's like, whatever. Taz wanted to explain to him, "Yo, I got you. I know what you did wrong." Essentially, the closing of that match was the fact that he couldn't pull off the crucifix. Cody was able to reverse it and blah, blah, blah. That's how Darby lost. All right. Taz wanted to help him out. Here we are now. He's winning with that move. That's against a Team Taz person. Showing Taz like, "Yo, I knew all along, dog. This is why I'm the champ. This is why I do what I do." You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the fact that AEW has the ability to like do those little things. I mean, yeah, all right, Sting came out and did his thing. I know that was a big deal, and that's gonna be the next pop for me. No shit.
I was waiting.
You stop speaking, though. Goddamn it, there's 4 of us here. Listen, my heel of the week, Alexa Bliss with the flamethrower she got from Such a Modern.
Thank you.
That Pyro Mania.
You know, with all this talk of callbacks and the higher level or the nuances that AEW puts in, sometimes you just want a burger. You don't want filet mignon. And I enjoyed the fireball.
Okay.
Like, it's simple. It made me pop. And
so I got 3 pops. 3 pops of the week. Ready?
That's what she said.
First and foremost, pop, happy birthday today to Matt Riddle, who was prominent Raw, bro. Funny, bro, Chacho. That was hilarious. Calling out MVP. Good shit. My second pop of the week.
That was a great match, by the way. That was
great match, yeah. Great work, yeah.
Blake Christian versus Casey Navarro on Impact Genesis.
Also,
what a match. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen that match, of course, a shooting day.
Navarro, man.
Good Lord.
Big things. Good shit for him, man.
These 2 gentlemen have been putting in the work in the indies, and they just were put on the map, straight up. And my last pop of the week has to go to Triple H, man. It's good to see the H out there to actually take the challenge from Randy Orton. Oh yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that.
No doubt. Oh, okay, cool. I'm back. I lost y'all for a second there. I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
What's your HPT of the week?
Mine? Man, Kenny Omega and Don Callis have been killing the shit right now as of late. And my man worked them all when everybody thought the Young Bucks was Kenny's best friends. Psych! We got some good brothers on his side. And he's going to carry all that momentum into Sunday when he fights at Hard to Kill in the main event. Get his hands on some Rich Swans. I can't wait for that. That was my pop of the week. I think that's all the damn time we have for you folks this week. KUTA, I want you to get your handles out, please. Tell the folks where to find you, where to hit you up, and if they can hit you up on Twitter, I don't know. If they're not, they gotta have to,
I mean, if you want to, feel free. I don't know if I'll answer you. I'll be honest, but if you want to, it is KUTA_Jr. But I recommend you go to my website, topoftherope.com, where you can find just about everything. And every week, I post a top 20 wrestlers of the week. And you can feel free to check that out, whoever ends up on top. So it's been a lot of Japan recently with Wrestle Kingdom in the books. So,
man.
Yeah, every week there is a top 20. I normally put a tweet out about it, but that's my big that's my big plug. I also enjoyed the Fireball, I must say.
Yes.
It was finally done correctly. Like, fuck,
folks,
they got it right.
TouchOfModern.com if you want to order it.
I mean,
Pyro.
a lot of
Danny, if Fiend wins the Royal Rumble, I will stop watching wrestling.
JP, tell them what they can do to show the bad guys some love on their way out.
You already know. Heels, Pops, and Chair Shots, HPC to Sweet on IG and Twitter. We are live every Thursday. Make sure to go on our YouTube. We're live on Facebook, on Periscope. Check them on blogs. Everywhere that you have to be, we will be.
We will be.
We.
Yo, did you forget something?
Yo, the dessert?
My dessert?